Our next guest blew millions of Americans away with her performance on the new season of America's Got Talent. Please welcome Mandy Harvey, joining me through via FaceTime with the eChem Network. Hi, Mandy.
Hi.
It is so great to have you on. You're so crazy talented, and I am so excited to finally get to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to meet you.
Yes. So, Mandy, when did... First question, because, in case people don't know, your mom is actually, behind the camera. She's, interpreting for you.
Yeah.
But, and people I know have to realize that, you are deaf. But when did you realize when you were losing your hearing?
Well, I've grown up with hearing issues my whole life, so it was always something that was in the back of my mind, but it really hit hard my freshman year of college. And so at first I was about a month into school, and I noticed I couldn't understand my teachers talking, so I kept moving closer, and moving closer, till pretty soon I was like right in their face and I still couldn't understand them. So it hit really fast, and over a period of about 9 months, that's when everything just kind of, it's the best way to describe it.
That's so, it's so heartbreaking. I know, you had to be scared, when that was happening, because, all your life you could hear, and then, you started losing your hearing. I would have been probably scared to death.
I was mortified and just angry for a while. I went through all of the stages of depression. I was in denial, and then I was like, oh, this is going to be fine. It's just an ear infection. It will improve. And then it got worse and got worse. And then I went crazy. I had made the mistake of associating my identity with being able to hear and singing and with music. And when that dream of vocal music education died, I felt very much like I died. And I gave up for a very long time. For me, a very long time.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give up, because we all saw you in America's Got Talent. And look at you now. You're a superstar. So we love you dearly, Mandy. We really do love you, and I can speak on the behalf of America.
I love you back.
We love you. When you lost your hearing, how was the process of learning the sign language and being able to communicate with others without being able to hear the other person talk? You had to also, it was the process of learning, sign language, right?
Yeah, when I left CSU, I went to a community college in Longmont, Front Range Community College, and they had ASL 1, and so I started with that class. And in that class, you have to socialize with a lot of deaf people, so we went to deaf socials and silent weekends, which is where nobody talks, it's just signing. And then I took ASL 2, and really attaching to that language was easier because it was a necessity. I know that learning languages can be a really hard thing for a lot of people, but when you're in a position where it's your only means of communication, you really take it seriously. So I studied really hard, and I hung out with a lot of deaf people. I made a lot of friends, and that was actually a really big part of my life as an encouragement, because up to this point, I was just so depressed. I was struggling to breathe, and finding a community of people who I could easily talk with and just be a person and not be seen as that broken person was just instrumental to my life. And that gave me a lot of encouragement to try new things. And that led me to saying yes to trying new things. Like when my dad, my parents both were trying to figure out how to get me back into doing some kind of music again. And so they suggested I play guitar with my dad. So something that I had done most of my childhood. So it was a really normal request. But up until this point, I would have said no. But because of this new life that I was breathing, I was okay with trying to figure it out and say yes, even though I thought at the time it was a stupid, crazy idea. So
Well, your story is very inspiring. It really lifts our spirits, and you know we need somebody like you to get us through these hard times in life. I mean, there's so much going on in the world and so much negativity. And when we, you know, heard your story and saw you on, you know, worldwide television, I mean, you really, you know, that was some good you did to America. That was a happy moment, because I feel like there's not really a lot of happy moments. And, you know, to see you, I mean, you just made us all smile, and we're still talking about it to this day. I mean, we're replaying your video, like, we're smiling, we're laughing, we're crying, because we love you. I mean, you're so talented, and your stories are so inspiring. And, you know, as mentioned to the judges on America's Got Talent, you were, you know, expressing in the song Try, you know, to not give up. And that's what, you know, you were going through your whole life. You know, you were wanting to give up, but then, you know, in this song, you know, you're telling to others to not give up. What encouragement would you give to others out there that have disabilities and they feel like that they can't do what others can do because of their disability? What, you know, encouragement would you give them?
I think that, well, I think you can encourage anybody on a daily basis, and I'm so proud that, you know, I was pushed by so many different people. I think that we've been told in society that if something's really difficult, you have the possibility of failure, and if you're going to fail, then give up, which is crazy, because failure is such a beautiful part of life. You learn so much about yourself. You learn how to become stronger if you let it. You have two choices when something bad happens in your life. You can allow it to swallow you and just let it go, or you can say, you know what? I'm going to become stronger. I'm going to help others. I'm going to do better and improve yourself. And the fact that I could be a light to somebody else it's a beautiful thing. It's crazy to me, because I really did give up. I gave up for a while, and the only reason why I came back to music was because other people did not give up on me. So my encouragement for anybody with or without a disability to say, you can accomplish your dreams. You can accomplish your goals. It may mean that you have to change the way you go about it, but you have a responsibility not only to yourself, but to everyone around you to push. Everybody needs to push and encourage everyone around them, especially right now.
Absolutely, for sure. I mean, because people might think they can't do or be who they want to be, but I mean, with family and friends and people giving you love, I mean, you can, I mean, and you can do anything you want to do. I mean, I think a lot of people think, oh, I can't do it, but you can, you know, you can do it for sure.
Well, it's like that the old saying about Thomas Edison. How many times did he fail making the light bulb?
Yeah.
Something like 50,000? I would have given up by like try number 3. Like, well, 50,000?
Yeah.
That's motivation, man.
Yeah, I mean,
we all need a little bit of that.
And when I feel like, you know, I'm down in the dumps or not feeling good, I will just go to Google, because Google is like, hey, it's our source now. We can just Google anything. And I will Google motivational quotes. I'm like, I'm just going to read me a couple of motivational quotes today, you know, like to keep me going. So okay, so Mandy, how grateful are you for all the feedback, the love, and the support you have been receiving over the past couple of days and weeks since your air date on America's Got Talent?
Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Honestly, I might cry. It's been so much, and I've been getting emails and messages from all these other people who are suffering, or they're dealing with depression, or they're dealing with connective tissue disorders, and they were just encouraged. And the fact that I could do that. What is better for your life to have your life be an encouragement to other people? You can't do better than that. It's an amazing thing that I hope I can continue to do for the rest of my life. And that could be something small, holding a door open for somebody, take the time to talk to a stranger. But for me to do this is so outside my comfort zone and outside my personality, and I'm just really I'm really thankful. I'm thankful for all the beautiful messages, all of the love and encouragement, and it makes me never want to stop doing this. And I hope that it can help somebody else to never stop doing whatever they're doing.
When performing, you actually feel the vibration in the floor. So that is why you perform with your shoes off, because people, ask, why do you have your shoes off? And it's, so you can feel the vibration. So does it ever become challenging for you some days when, you get up on stage and you're performing? Does it become challenging at times?
It's always challenging, even on the good days. So you have to really work hard. I think a lot of people, they're like, wow, look at what you've done because you're so gifted. I was like, I work my butt off. So I work really hard every day, 40 to 70 hours a week, just on music and feeling music and singing, using visual tuners and feeling it travel up and down and feeling it resonate behind my nasal cavity, boom in my chest. When I'm playing with other musicians, I have to piece them out. So the bass you get in your chest, when you go to a concert, you can feel it booming in your chest. It almost replaces your heartbeat. And then through the floor, I focus just on the drums, on the rhythm. So when I'm playing with other musicians, I'm blessed that the band that I use is like a team. We're all in this together. We have a lot of different things that we do, not only just feeling the rhythm, but there's a lot of visual communication. So I really do not do this alone. Without them, without interpreters, without my family, I mean, I couldn't do any of this by myself. I don't feel like I could because I gave up. So I had to really work hard to create a system that works for me. And it's taken so many years, but there are many times where I get lost. Like when I was performing on AGT, there were like 1,000+ people in the audience, and when they started screaming, it rumbled the floor, and I lost the vibration of the beat with my band. So wow. I kind of had a minor freak out. I was like, they will follow me. They can hear me. They will follow me. We're going to be fine. Right. But I was like, oh no.
I mean, does it matter what happened? You still got that golden buzzer. And Simon Cowell gave you that golden buzzer. People think Simon Cowell is, can be, kind of mean or harsh by some of the comments, but he doesn't really, I don't think, mean it. That he just wants to help the people, and he's honest with his opinions. He tells you what he thinks it is. He lays it down for you. But Simon Cowell was your golden buzzer, so he said we found each other, in the segment. So how excited were you for Simon to golden buzzer you? I mean, that had to be a good feeling.
Well, Simon, it means so much more as a musician, because he's not going to just judge me for a pity vote. And I didn't want a pity vote. I wanted somebody to listen to my music and listen to the song that I wrote and to judge me that way. And I knew Simon would take the time. He would listen, like really listen. So for him to be the person to say, you're not going to need your interpreter for this, it just meant so much more, because it made it real. I don't want people just to feel sad for me, like, oh, look at her go. You're like, I'm a musician, darn it, and I want people to see me as a musician. So, and I felt like in that moment he really did, and it meant so much.
You tell him, girl. You tell him. But no, you were really great though. Even though I mean, I know what you mean. People might say, "Oh, well, she can't hear. She's trying her best. Let's just pass with it." But you're really good at it. I mean, right when you started singing, the first couple of notes, I'm like, "Oh wow, this girl, she can sing. They better pass her through this round, because if not, I'm never gonna be watching again."
No.
So that's so cool. And speaking about the song "Try," which you performed on America's Got Talent, people can actually get it from online. It's on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere online. You can purchase it and buy it and listen to it. You can have it as your ringtone. You know, I love it. I actually got it. Just to let you know, I bought the album, and you know the album is out online. It's called All of Me. Your song "Try," which is on the album, of course, it hit the iTunes charts at #1. Oh my God, incredible, crazy. I mean, how do you feel? Because this album was actually made and it was put out in 2014 before, you know, you went on America's Got Talent in 2016. So, were you a little nervous about singing, you know, one of your originals on the show? Because a lot of people do cover songs, but, you know, were you kind of a little nervous? And also, how excited were you to, you know, see your song at #1 on the iTunes charts?
Well, honestly, the only reason why I did the show is because I wanted to encourage people, and the song that kind of started me writing music was Try. And it's like, if I'm going to go represent myself, I have to represent myself this way. And I want to do original music. I want to tell stories, and Try was an encouragement from a friend of mine. His name is Eric Weimer, and he's climbed Mount Everest and the top summits from every continent. He's kayaked the Grand Canyon, and he's blind. And he's a friend of mine who, on a daily basis, says, bring it on. And he asked me, he's like, why are you not writing your own music? I said, I'm afraid. And he said, what's the worst that can happen? And that hit me hard. But it's true. I mean, losing my hearing was always my biggest fear. And so what's the worst that can happen with writing a song? People don't like it, or they think it's not good enough. Who cares? I'm expressing myself. And to see a song that I wrote about my own personal journey of accepting myself and learning to try again, other people resonating with it is such a beautiful thing. And it's the reason why you sing anyway. It's the reason why you write music. You want to touch somebody's heart. And I'm crazy overwhelmed. I'm so excited, and I'm ready. I'm writing more music every day. I'm just like, I have so much music I want to share.
Oh, well, I know the fans are going to be excited for that, because I know they're wanting, you know, to hear more from you. And, you know, like you said, that's why artists write their music. They want to express, you know, what they've been going through, or their, you know, their life. And, you know, and this lyrics in the song is real. You know, it's, you know, they just didn't write this and it's make-believe. It's real. It really happened.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, it's incredible. The song is very uplifting. You know, being at #1 on the iTunes charts. I mean, what do you think about that? Did you ever expect that your song would hit #1?
I never expected to even do well on the show. Like, none of this is expected. I was like, well, I hope I go out there and do my best. And if I fail, at least I'm going to fail hard and it'll be awesome. And then it was just like, oh, look, your music's moving up. It's like,
I made it.
What?
America.
What? It's not real in my mind yet. It's not real. This can't be me. It's got to be some, like, other person that I'm just watching and cheering them on. But I'm just like, that's really cool, but there's no way that this is real. I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and maybe this will all have been like a weird, crazy, lucid dream. But I keep waking up the next day, and it's still here. So eventually, I hope to believe it. So.
Yeah. Waking up, and do you get all, and you see all these tweets and all these Facebook comments and people sending you all these messages like wow, all these people are wanting to chat with me, you know, because you've had a lot of people reach out to you.
There's so much pain in the world, and everybody deals with heartbreak, and everybody deals with difficult situations, and so I feel like we have a connection, because every single person is going to understand disappointment, and you know, we can all talk about it freely. So a lot of the messages I'm getting are from people who are they're in the thick of it. They're depressed. They're really struggling, and they're telling me these beautiful things about how they're making a decision to not give up. They're making a decision to try again. And that is the most overwhelming part of it all, because that's the only reason why I've continued to perform. It's like I could sing to myself in my shower all day long, and who cares, you know, but performing is outside my comfort zone big time. And it's something I'm getting better with, and I really have a lot of fun performing. But at the end of the day, I don't know how the concert went. You know, like I can see the teamwork with the band, and we have a lot of fun communicating back and forth, but I can't hear myself to know what the songs sound like. So there's a really empty feeling, you know, empty spirit, and empty feeling with performing. So the only real reason to perform is for other people, not for myself. And that being an encouragement, it makes it all worthwhile. Why would you not want to do that every day? And these messages, I'm trying my best to answer as many of them as possible. I'm really trying, but I hope that anybody who sees this, they know I do read every one of them. It just might take me a little bit longer, but I'm reading everything.
Right.
So